Hey, thanks for joining us on this week's episode of The Breakdown. We're going to be talking about takedowns today, so watch the clips coming up and the varying different kind of takedowns or trips, and we'll talk about it on our follow-up right after that. Okay, so you saw a few different takedowns. Now this isn't about takedown defense, it's just different kinds of takedowns that we experience. And I'm going to explain like the first one you saw, which was like kind of a traditional Reef, why I don't like it, but we do practice it just for some practical purposes, but I don't like it as much as the other ones. Now, takedowns are going to happen, and it's going to be part of any kind of realistic fight. People know how they just tackle. And if you don't know how to do those takedowns, you can't defend against them. So you have to learn the takedowns first, then you can learn takedown defense. Same thing if you want to learn how to dodge boxing and kicking and stuff like that, you got to learn to do those things as well. So let's talk about the traditional kind of first one. It's called a Reef. This is where you kind of go behind somebody, do this. Can be practical. It can be. But there's a couple pointers people miss. Like, in this case, I go under his chin to help kind of do that. But if Eddie were to do that to me, let's say he's doing a Reef, that chin technique won't work. I'm too tall. So he'd have to go underneath my armpit. But chances are I might fight back a little bit. So he starts to Reef, and I do that with my hip. Then what Eddie has to do is do basically a clinch, comes around my waist, and then does a body fold. And that's how you would take me down there. So you have to be able to change and adapt. The Reef is a good start, but it's not always a end-all. Okay, so now that takedown may not work for Eddie. What works better is the next two. If you were to do a single leg, not a single leg, but let's say the leg hook. So this one kind of people do naturally. Instead of going behind my hip, he's going to take that leg, maybe hook around my foot this way. And then he can either kick my leg back and then take me down, or he can just hold on tight and he has a leg here and I can't pull, and I'm already losing my balance and I fall down. Okay, for him, that makes a lot of sense because he's a lot smaller than me. Also, the single leg takedown. Single leg takedown is he's trying to do anything to take my legs down, but every time he goes for my leg, I'm one of those guys. I keep my hips back. So what Eddie has to decide is, do I want to push or pull? So if he sees I'm pushing him, he's going to pull me. And then one leg's going to come in front. He's going to put his head to the outside so I can't lock him. And he just pulls the leg up, and that's it. I have to go down that way. Okay. If I was pulling him, then he'd walk into me and push me. And whatever leg is in front, he goes right there and does the takedown. Okay. Then you have the double leg, which basically is, you know, what it is. I could be in this situation. I get frustrated, and I pull a little bit, and I just go, and I take both legs. Very easy to do, and when you wrap your arms, no matter how big you are, you know, you're going down because the arms are wrapped right around the knees. Now, could he charge me and do that? Sure, he could charge into a double leg. You know, I don't expect it. He catches me off guard, and I go down. You see that a lot in street fights. If you know how to defend a sprawl, if you know how to sprawl or you know how to defend, maybe you can get away from that. But if you got both legs grabbed, you're going down. You have to learn how to fall, and you have to learn how to counteract that. So that's the value of takedowns. What works, what kind of works, and what might not work. So keep it in mind. Always practice. See you guys on the next episode.